The first iteration of the recommended series were my own personal build recommendations. It was nothing complicated and it didn't honestly take that long to make. And honestly, they didn't even do that well. Like, if you look at the first year for every one of those videos, I didn't think they were that popular at all. They were just okay. The second time around, however, the entire concept changed. Instead of just my own personal build recommendations, now it was a much more simulated and mathematical recommendation based off of a lot of programming. Oh my god, so much programming. And remember, I wasn't even a programmer, so it took me extra long. It took 4 months just for the first video and 9 months in total. Yeah, that does not look so big anymore. Even though I'm much better at programming now, that 4 months no longer looks impressive because the current iteration has been in development for 2 years. And honestly, it's too much. It's honestly too much work for me. I don't think I can do it all by myself anymore, especially considering my decaying mental health. So I've come to a conclusion, and that is semi-open testing, which is to say, I'll let anyone get access to MinMax's Dream full weapons version, which is to say all the weapons instead of limited weapons, and help me out with the testing process, which is to say you can grab a bunch of weapons and do testing until you find the quote unquote optimal build for that level range and for that faction, and given the constraints of the project as well. So yeah, there are some ground rules involved, and those go hand in hand. Those go hand in hand with the changed structure, because we're no longer doing primary, secondary, and melee. We're doing rifle, shotgun, bow, sniper, etc. So it's a much more small scale video. Instead of like a 150-minute video, it's gonna be like probably one 15-minute video, I'm guessing. But at the same time, given the complexities I've added, it could also be longer for each section. I'm not sure, but we'll get there when we get there. And whenever the semi-open testing is started, well, Discords have a priority. I will only make a community post or a video on it if there are not enough people in the Discord server. And if you really want to join in the testing process, well, MinMaxer Dream version 0.91 with limited weapons debugging build is ready to go. It has already been released, and this is the last version before rifle testing. If you want to find this build, it's in the description as well, because itch.io page has now been made public instead of restricted, so you could honestly just find it on itch probably as well. Probably, maybe not. It doesn't have that many views or interactions, so probably won't show up in a search, but the link in the description will get the job done. And as for what's new in MinMax's Dream, here's what's new in the version 0.91 compared to the last YouTube video I made on the subject. Not the last build I released, but rather the last YouTube video I made on it. So we have a ton of mods. Other than the weapon select panel, in the mods panel, we have so many new mods. Look at the rifles mod like spring-loaded chamber, shred, prime shred, rifle elementalist, shivering contagion, semi-rifle cannonade, etc. In the snipers, we also have a bunch of new ones, as well as arcanes. Oh my god, arcanes. There's so much to talk about in the arcanes department because there's an entirely new system that took probably well over a month to make. And it has made developing arcanes, first of all, possible, and secondly, much easier to do. Because initially there were some concerns of it causing some issues with the existing systems, but since I rebuilt the system from ground up, which it was necessary to do, it's now much more scalable. And after that, I also updated the build loader, so now the new arcane stuff with the whole new system also connects quite well with the build loader. We also have some new stuff in the live test panel, and the results panel has been updated as well. So once the semi-open testing is open, regardless of people joining me or not in the testing process, I'm going to do it myself anyway. So it will be a helpful thing to have, but don't feel guilty if you can't help out, okay? Okay. So I'll probably also stream the testing process, and you can check my schedule on the YouTube channel as well, because I have been streaming once every week, and if you want to show up, well, you're welcome to do so. If you want to ask what I've been streaming, well, I guess you can find that out, but let me say it's much more experimental than my YouTube videos. Even though my YouTube videos are already experimental, the streams are far worse. So it could really be anything. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I'll see you guys next time, and bye-bye.